Today, let's explore adaptive immunity. Unlike the defenses you're born with, adaptive immunity is acquired during life. The special thing about it, it's highly specific to each pathogen and it has memory. That means if the same germ attacks again, the response will be faster and much stronger. We need this protection because we live surrounded by pathogens, bacteria, viruses, fungi, and parasites. Every day they try to enter our body, but most of the time we don't even notice, thanks to our immune system. Immunity is broadly of two types. First, innate immunity, which you're born with. Think of it like the castle walls always present guarding you from the start. Second, adaptive immunity, which develops after exposure. These are like knights, trained, precise, and capable of remembering enemies they fought before. For example, the skin and mucous membrane act as strong physical barriers. They are just like the castle walls, they stop most invaders right at the entry point. But when an enemy does manage to sneak through, adaptive immunity takes charge. This is the body's specialized defense system. T lymphocytes are essential players here. Among them, the helper T cells act like commanders. They don't fight directly but coordinate the army, activating B cells to produce antibodies and stimulating cytotoxic T cells to attack infected cells. Cytotoxic T cells are the killers. They identify cells infected with viruses or even tumor cells and destroy them before the infection can spread further. Then, there are memory T cells. They stick around long after the infection is gone. Their job is to remember the pathogen, so if it comes back, the body can launch a much quicker and stronger response. To keep the immune response balanced, we also have suppressor T cells. They act like brakes, switching off the immune system once the threat is gone, so our body doesn't end up attacking itself. This memory is why we see two types of responses, primary and secondary. The first time a pathogen enters, the response is slow and weak. That's the primary response. But if the same pathogen enters again, the memory cells trigger a secondary response which is faster, stronger, and efficient. That's also called the anamnestic response. Now, let's look at B lymphocytes. When activated, they turn into plasma cells that produce antibodies, special proteins that can recognize and neutralize antigens. Each antibody is highly specific, like a lock and key fit for the antigen it targets. Our body makes four main types of antibodies. IgA guards entry points like the saliva and the tears. IgE helps fight parasites and is involved in allergies. IgG is the most common and even crosses the placenta to protect the baby. IgM is the first antibody made during infection and is great at clumping pathogens. This brings us to vaccination. By introducing a harmless form of pathogen, vaccines stimulate the immune system to produce memory cells. So, if the real pathogen attacks later, the body already knows how to fight it. Vaccines can be made in several ways, using inactivated or killed pathogens, weakened or attenuated strains, or just purified parts of the microbe, like proteins or toxins that have been made harmless. That's why we have different types of vaccines. For example, polio vaccine, hepatitis vaccine, and the tetanus toxoid. Each uses a slightly different approach, but the goal is the same: to train your immune system without causing the actual disease. So, to sum it up, our body defends itself with both innate and adaptive immunity. Innate immunity is the first line of defense, like the castle walls. Adaptive immunity is more specialized, involving T and B lymphocytes, antibodies, and memory cells. And vaccination is a way of making adaptive immunity work for us by preparing our body in advance. That's the beauty of our immune system. It's not just about fighting, it's also about remembering.